Yo! It's me, Boingo. It's time for Gateway to Geats. Yo, 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 yo. This is for episode 4. What's up? Real quick though, there should be an announcement for the possibility that next week there may not be an episode due to the fact that I currently live in Florida and there is a lot of hurricane stuff going on. Just want you all to be prepared. There may not be an episode next week. We'll play it by ear. Hopefully everything will be fine. So, in order to be notified, hey, go subscribe to me, like the stuff, give this a comment, do all the things, call to action, yada yada, so on and so forth. I'm also going to change up the formatting just a little bit on these and just give my general thoughts on the episode before we dive into analysis and stuff. So, first off, damn good episode. Really good episode. It really feels like we're truly solidifying what the show's gonna feel like here on out. Solidifying our main trio, Geats, Tycoon, Nago. Impressive action again all throughout. Great cinematography, and the compositing on the CG models is a step above. They really make things feel more like it's not perfect. It's not 100% perfect without fault, but it does feel like they did a few more things in the composite to make it feel more in the scene. You know what I mean? Really great character acting, really great character writing for everybody. No one feels like they were just on a treadmill this week. Not that that's been a problem. It's good to see that everyone's still getting meat to chew on. All the characters have something to do. No one's in a holding pattern. The only ones that could be considered in a holding pattern are very much the support characters, the woman in black and white, and the butler. Geats is just chugging along, doing great stuff. So before we dive in to the analysis, we got something to talk about. Because this episode of Gateway to Geats is brought to you by the webcomic Nothing Ordinary. Haha. Haha, Hatch. I found a way to shill you in my YouTube videos, and you can't do anything about it. Nothing Ordinary is a Nothing Ordinary is a webcomic that is a supernatural slice of life horror with beautiful art, great characters like Ivy, the sheltered magic woman, Mint, the man slut, and Kurt, the bisexual disaster. If any of that sounds interesting to you, the link to check it out is down below in the description. But let's dive in to some more specific details on this episode of Geats. The recap is continuing to be done by K-Wall, which is fantastic. I love that he's basically our point of view character, and he's recapping all the stuff that's going on. Dread is building amongst the cast and how they are all interacting. They are really diving into the zombie film thoughts and ideas and themes for these two episodes, which is great. And everyone's getting to each other's throats. Neri is also following the path of least resistance. He is not making choices on his own. He is very much going to whatever seems to be the most advantageous to him. That's the thing that gets me with Mary. Yeah, fun, cool, haha, fun character. This man is just going with whatever seems to be the most optimal. He is an opportunist. And I had a funny thought. The advertised version of Geats that's on the toys and all the stuff, we haven't seen it since the first episode. And that's just something interesting, you know? They're really holding on to that and making it feel special. But with the more we see of Geats, the more we see that he's kind of just playing an asshole. It feels much more like he's playing a character. And I'm just going okay, cool. Why are you doing that? That's a fascinating little bit of character work. And my initial theory, my initial thought is maybe it makes it easier for whoever should win the Desire Grand Prix to take him down because he's been a dick the whole time, you know? He talks shit ultimately to try and make the best outcome because I don't think he's a dickhead. So far, through the episodes we've seen, I do not think he is an asshole. It is very much an act he puts on, and I can't wait to see that act kind of disappear for our main characters and see the real heart of gold and between them, you know. Also, little detail I noticed when Tycoon dehensions, there's barbed wire around his little icon. So continuing that barbed wire theme. But after this whole big tension thing of whether we should kill these two people who have been bitten by zombies kind of just fizzles out, and people are just left with the existential dread of like, I'm gonna zombie. This sucks. We then cut to what is truly the theme of the show. It is desire. It is wanting thing. It is the desire to change your world, you know. It is, what do you want, and is it worth it? And there's a whole big conversation of like, is your life worth your ultimate desire? And many people say like, yeah, it is, with our very point of view character Tycoon going like, I'm not sure. Maybe pointing out that how you live your life ultimately should be a desire, that your life is a heavy desire that should be focused on more so than material goods. Kiritsumitsu has been pointing out that there is a lot of Buddhist themes kind of playing around, so maybe that idea of desire and holding on to it is playing into this, of like, you should like value things in a different way, and that life is ultimately precious. But they miscalculated the third wave, so they have some time off, meaning we get more time with Neon as she heads to her house and has a confrontation with her mother, and we realize that, oh, okay, so this isn't just like holding power over her. It is a misguided love. It's a smothering indifferent love to the person that you're caring about, of like, okay, you're not actually seeing them as a person, you're just seeing them as an object, which is interesting. Neon does leave her house again and meets up with Ace and Keiwa. And we have a whole big conversation of like, what feels like at the time of her kind of like accepting that she's going to become a zombie. We'll see later on that that's not exactly how the conversation happens, because the third wave is about to begin, as Geats and Tycoon have a badass duo moment as they hinge in on the top, fall down to the ground, and start beating up some zombies. Just a really fun action scene, as Buffa also points out that he now has the Magnum, and that he was playing along with Depan, as Depan starts ultimately succumbing to being a zombie and just goes like, haha, fuck you, I'm nihilistic. Then Nago, I wouldn't say completes her character arc, cements what her character arc truly is, of wanting to live life for herself and not for anyone else. Decides to continue fighting and does a badass henshin. She starts beating up everything, and we get a flashback to the end of their conversation, Geats, Tycoon, and Nago's conversation, where basically they go like, yeah, but do you really just want to give up? And she goes like, no, I don't. And they go like, all right, cool, don't give up. And she's like, why you gotta make it that goddamn simple? And Tycoon, Keiwa, gives up boost again, very altruistic, very not holding on to stuff, so maybe that's going to be playing into some things here. Gives her boost and says like, hey, you're probably going to need this more than I. Try your hardest to survive all of this. And she's like, thank you, all that kind of stuff. And we get what might be like a little moment where she's just, for lack of a better way of describing it, we see her desire of trying to find true love, and her reflecting on the conversation she just had with Keiwa. And I don't think this is necessarily meant for us to like start shipping them, though that may be like a side effect of all of it. I think it's more of her recognizing that she doesn't need magic to ultimately fulfill that desire, that she just needs to go out there and live life. So it may just be her recognizing that her desire has always been in her hands, or it may just be shit bait. Who knows? Either way, fun little moment, fun little character reflection on her part. But Nago just fights, and she uses boost, and it's so fucking good. Great fight scenes, great choreography all around, It is exciting. They know how to use CGI in this. Like, I wouldn't say it's been hinky in the first few episodes, but it solidifies, like, no, they know what they're doing to accent what they're already, like, they are using CGI in the best way possible to accent the practical stuff they're doing, which always great. She uses boost. She uses them as pants, proving my theory correct. Pants are the ultimate power in Geats. This time next year, quote me on this. I will hold you to this. But she does the flippy thing, showing that it's not just Geats who can do it, everyone can do it. And she, by doing that, makes the hammer huge and rocket powered and is just fucking badass. And she saves the day with the help of Geats, with Geats basically giving her a hand. Again, showing that he's not an asshole. Again, showing that he has a heart of gold despite what he says and his almost flippant attitude. But she does succeed. She does finish the mission, and we are shown the aftermath of basically everyone gets points, and whoever last is eliminated, and the pan is eliminated. And they basically go like, yeah, you were so busy wallowing in self-pity that you basically fucked yourself. And he's going like, fuck. And he disappears in a fluctuation of glitchy glitter. It's the theme of, like, he gave up on his desires. And it's also the idea of, like, it's also the idea that destructive desires will backfire on you. It's a poison, you know? However, during this whole thing, my mind was just looking at the acting between Ace, Geats, and the woman in black and white, and just going like, you guys are too in sync. You are almost finishing each other's sentences. You two have a history, especially with the theme song kind of hinting at it. So what's going on there? What is the history that they have? They just seem way too in sync. And so we end this episode with Neon actively defending herself, actualizing herself, and just like taking hold of what she wants, even not in the game world, because she stands up to her mom and says like, hey, no, I want to live my life, you can't stop me. And we end the episode with a hint that Geats and Buffa must ultimately clash, whether it's for someone else's machinations or if it's some kind of predestined thing, we don't know. But they gotta clash. They gotta clash somehow. And that is Geats. A lot of, not necessarily like a super amount of meat to chew on, but it is a lot of seasoning to the meat we were already eating. It's a lot more like elaboration on concepts, a lot more diving into certain concepts. It's really, really good. But ultimately, we also have some comments we need to talk about. Not a ton of comments this week. There's only one I really want to mention because it is a correction. Fish Pop pointed out that Genpin is not an owl, it is a penguin. My bad. I'm an idiot. Like, the second you said that, I was like, yeah, no, you're right. Why did I think it was an owl? I think it's just a big round eyes. Either way, Geats was great this week. Cannot wait for next week. And until then, if you are in the pathway of the hurricane, please stay safe. I will try my hardest to stay safe and keep you updated on Twitter. On Twitter at Boingo_writer. Do all the stuff. Also, hey, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/BoingoWriter. Do all the things. Follow me on the social medias. Links are in the description. You know how this works. And until next time, stay safe, everybody.